The sentence of death is imposed upon the defendant, Otis Thompson, for the killing of Lewis Brown, the CEO of Thebes Corp. Otis Thompson, do you plead guilty to the murder of the CEO of Thebes Corp, Lewis Brown, and the cause of the suicide of Jackie Thompson?
My name is Otis Thompson, and I once lived a happy and privileged life with my two beloved parents, Sir Patrick and Morticia. I have always been told that I would inherit the possessions of my family, until I overheard the maids talking about how it would be impossible, as I am not the true heir of my family. I went to ask my parents about it. However, every time I asked, they seemed to change the subject. So, I decided to do what our family has always done in circumstances like this. I decided to meet the psychic medium, Madame Magma. And believe me when I say this, Madame Magma is the last resort in any issues for the family.
Hello? Madam Magma?
Oh, Otis Thompson. I'm surprised. Please, have a seat. Well, this is a surprise. So what brings you here, young man? Perhaps you'd like to know who's crushing on you this time?
I would like to know if I'm the real heir of this family.
Is that so? Young man, being the real heir of this family or not, it's not your main concern. That I can tell you for sure. You see, Otis, there are things in this world, things that would pain us, things that would traumatize us. These things are the things that are best to be locked up, thrown away deep into the ocean just so that nobody could ever find them. If not, things can go terribly, terribly wrong. Do you understand that? Look at me, Otis. Oh dear. Otis. It appears that there is something far more important for you to be concerned about. Something concerning life and death.
What is it, Madam Magma?
It's a prophecy. Prophecy for you. Otis, just know that this is your destiny, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's no escape to it. You shall kill your own father, marry your mother, and live a shameful, shameful descent. I'm deeply sorry, but there's nothing I can do to help you.
Thank you for your time, Madam Admiral.
I knew that Madam Magma wouldn't make up such a prophecy. So I decided to leave my family forever to keep them safe from such a cursed prophecy. I kept on moving from town to town. Till one day I arrived at a bar in the middle of nowhere. The odd thing about that bar, there was a posh-looking man occupying the place, along with his guards, and no one else was around. I should have expected a quarrel from him. I should have expected it. That moment went by so fast, I could hardly remember the man's face. But I knew that night I had killed a man. I thought that the police were going to be looking for me, but months went by and they never seemed to show up. So I moved on, knowing that there was nothing to worry about. After a while, I landed a job at a prestigious company, Thebes Corp. I remember that job vividly. I was told I was smart and sharp in doing business. And in just a blink of an eye, I had saved the company and was the youngest CEO they ever had. I'd even married the late CEO's wife, Jackie. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have my precious children. Everything was perfect. Until things started to go wrong in the company. We lost our partners, our shareholders, our important clients. It was as if we were cursed. I couldn't really put my finger on what went wrong until he showed up, standing in my office, staring right into my soul with his blind eyes filled with hatred. It doesn't make sense, I know. That's what it felt like. Hatred.
Anything that I can do for you?
You've done more than you should have, so I'm good.
Well, perhaps you wouldn't mind explaining why you're here.
I used to come here often, serving and advising my master. That's all.
That's all. Well, Louis Brown must be quite a man to be having someone like you worshipping him still. Terence, right?
Yes, I am indeed Terence. And I stay loyal to the righteous leader, and not just any man who disguises as a leader. I suppose you would know that best, wouldn't you?
You have quite an attitude for someone who can't see. You know, I can harm you right now if I want to, right?
Yes, I know. But you may do as you please, as long as the truth will never be out.
Ah, the truth. Just as I thought. This is not a routine proving visits for your late master, is it? A little birdie told me about this power of yours. So how about you spare me some time, tell me everything, or should I spare you some violent men that will do anything they want to you?
Look around you, Otis. Do you really think everything that you have is because of hard work? Everything that you are, everything that you own, it is all because of your terrible, terrible mistake. Or shall I say prophecy? Because of you, you've casted the curse upon this family, upon this company. You are the murderer of Lewis Brown, and I pity you for not knowing who you truly are. You are the cause of this misery, the day that you've killed that man at the bar.
That's enough. Shut your filthy mouth, you blind fool. I am not a killer. I am the CEO of this company. Me. You don't know anything about me. So don't you dare say a goddamn word ever again.
But you're the one who wanted to know the truth. I've told you everything.
Get out of my sight and continue to live your pathetic, meaningless life. And don't you ever show up again, you fool.
Even though I acted like a brute to that guy, deep down, I knew that the man was not lying. And maybe he's right. After all, I did kill a man. But then he could be wrong, because the man I killed was not Lewis Brown. I'm sure of it. He was just some rich snob who thinks he can stir things up with a stranger and do whatever he wants. But man, did that blind guy get me all in a fuss about his words. So I called in Mike, the right-hand man of the family. You know, the one who digs up people's secrets and does dirty work to get things done. I asked him to get every detail and information on Lewis's murder, just to be sure that the blind man was wrong. But a few days later, when Mike came with documents to solve this mystery, he had a concerned look on his face. Little did I know, his looks were telling me that indeed I was the blind one this whole time. I read through every piece of paper in that document, only to find out that I was the killer and the son of Lewis Brown. And things couldn't get any worse when I found out that I was adopted from my real parents, and that I have married my own mother and have had children with her. They should have left me on that mountain. They should have left me there to die. But someone saved me. Had I died that day, prophecy wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't. At that moment, I thought of Jackie. It all makes sense now, why she acted the way she did. And I was going to go back to tell her But it was too late. I was far, far too late.
Jackie! Oh God! Oh
She had found out the truth from Mike. And I guess it burdened her more than it burdened me. Seeing her lay down there, lifeless, it was my breaking point. My eyes had seen enough, my soul hadn't felt enough, so I took my eyes out. All the things that used to be beautiful now were merely an illusion. I deserve this. I want this. It's the only way to keep people safe from my terrible, terrible curse.
The sentence of death is imposed upon the defendant, Otis Thompson, for the killing of Lewis Brown, the CEO of Thebes Corp. Otis Thompson, do you plead guilty to the murder of the CEO of Thebes Corp, Lewis Brown, and the cause of the suicide of Jackie Thompson?
I do, Your Honor.